I don't know how many times I have to say this. It is frustrating, it is infuriating, it is demeaning that you cannot trust African organizations with $1 million to get the work done, but you can trust another organization with $10 million to get nothing done.
It's Diversity TV, bringing you the Untold Stories for the week of September 10th, 2021, from the fantastic city of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Hosted by myself, Rayyah Sempala. Sponsored by Rayyah Plumbing and Heating. Here are the headlines for this week. It's election season in Fort McMurray. Why is there an increase in the number of minority candidates who have entered politics this election season? Alita Vaz, Diversity Magazine Correspondent in Calgary, explains. Shawn shares his entrepreneurial journey since receiving the BESP financing and mentorship. The deadline is coming fast, September 27th, to enroll in the Solomon College KWEST Program. Now the news in detail. Segment 1. It's election season. Meet some of the candidates running for positions on council for the regional municipality of Wood Buffalo, better known as Fort McMurray, during Diversity Magazine Community Engagement.
I will want us to work together in this community to see how do we attract and retain people. We don't want Fort McMurray to be a ghost town. And for us to do that, we need to have infrastructures, or improve the infrastructures we have so that it will attract people. For you coming from Edmonton, I'm sure there are things you are looking forward to see, that will keep you here eventually. We would want to see improve even in our additional road. Fort McMurray is a dead end, but if Fort McMurray is opened and people can drive through Fort McMurray to other cities, that will bring jobs, it will bring municipal connectivity, it will bring more growth for the community and more businesses into town.
Absolutely right. So one of the things that we're trying to do is we're really trying to get the municipality and get other councils and people on board to provide funding for advertising and things to bring families here. This is a family event. It's a fun event. It's clean and safe. So for me, what I'm trying to do is get our municipality and other municipalities to support local people for family events.
But he is the mayor in making. He's running for mayor, and we know he's going to make it for mayor. He's been very instrumental in this community. Like the Highway 62 you drove by was under his administration. We got that beautiful. He was the first one who spoke at Black History.
Right from the very beginning. I remember
He's always there.
Yeah, so you say something then, at least let our audience in Diversity TV know who you are. So we are going to be meeting you again for sure.
For sure. Well, first thing, I want to welcome you and Diversity Magazine to the sunny Wood Buffalo, where it's God's country, and you have the boreal forest and the aurora borealis lights in the evenings. One of the most beautiful places on the planet, but it's also one of the most diversified communities in all of Canada for a community our size. I mean, obviously Toronto and Vancouver are very diverse populations as well, but I've always said that Wood Buffalo and Fort McMurray is known for the oil sands and for being oil rich. But the true wealth in this community is not necessarily the wealth that's in the ground, it's the people that are here.
Now we are meeting Ms. Verna Murphy. She is a councillor in Fort McMurray and she's running for mayor position, right? Yes.
So, Ms. Murphy, why are you running?
I'm running because I, of course, love Fort McMurray, but over the last 4 years I've really learned so much about our region, and I'm ready to take on this position to really make a difference in the life of the residents that live here and improve their quality of life.
Segment 2. Dr. Mbobda shared his pharmacological expertise on the workings of his acne products for darker skin types. Hear more from him.
To solve the acne problem, you have to think to solve the inflammation problem on the skin. That's why we use the chamomile extract on the cleansing lotion, try to clean deeply and start solving the problem of inflammation on the skin. Then we have to balance the pH. We know that the pH is really important of the skin health. If you have an unbalanced pH, you more likely have some bacterial infection, yeast infection due to the pH. So this botanical toner with tamarind extracts is there to balance the pH, give a deep cleaning on your face, opening the pores so that all the active ingredient from the other product will go deeply to the derma. Then secondly, the magic product, this is a vitamin C. We all know that the vitamin C is one of the potent antioxidants that the mother nature gifted us. Yeah, so we added the hyaluronic acid in there. We also added the gotu kola. The gotu kola helped to increase the blood flow under the derma so that the oxygen, bring more oxygen into the skin and more life into the skin. That's what this do. And also a potent anti-inflammatory and also bacteriostatic. What does that mean? Bacteriostatic means blocking the bacteria to grow, because one of the components of the acne in certain people is bacterial infection. So this does block the bacteria to grow and give the chance to our immune system to completely destroy those bacteria and win the infection. So we can clear the acne definitely. Of course, after bringing all those active ingredients into the skin needs to be moisturized. Bring more water on the skin. The skin needs to be, to breathe. And to do that, this is what we formulated at our 24-hour daily cream. You apply on the skin, and it brings more moisture, more active ingredient like blueberry extract, pomegranate extract. Those are anti-aging products, and it's a wonderful product. What I'm going to say is that this is a whole family product. If a young girl like Stephanie can use it, her mom use it, I use it, everyone in family can use it. Right? All our natural ingredients we use. And one of the things is that all the products are made in Canada.
Segment 3. Nomination opens for AC Awards 2021 in Alberta and Ontario. Regina Apon of Fort McMurray received her Diversity Magazine Souvenir of Prominence plaque.
Congratulations, Regina, for all the wonderful work you are doing here in the municipality of Wood Buffalo, better known as Fort McMurray.
Thank you very much, Franklin, and welcome again for the second time to the regional municipality of Wood Buffalo. And I believe this time your mission is on a different purpose, and that is about introducing the diversity in this region. I wish you all the best. I'm sure it will make up speed. And I thank you again because I've benefited much from Diversity Magazine, from your expertise. And you also helped us with the magazine, The Black Voices. And this magazine was Franklin's idea, so that we can capture some of the things that the Black community is doing here. Well, it came in as, I think it's the third time you're here. Yeah, sorry. And so this magazine captures our Black History celebration, which has 4 events. We have the essay school contest, and we have the cultural extravaganza, the youth socials, and the banquet, which is the climax of it all.
Diversity Magazine Souvenir of Prominence is designed for your wall or desk. It's now available. Nomination opens for AC Awards 2021. Nominate those making a difference in the community, nonprofit, business, or career here at www.diversitymag.ca/AC Awards 2021. In other Diversity Magazine news, this is the last call to submit content for the fall edition of Diversity Magazine. Print over 30,000 copies to be distributed in Edmonton, Calgary, across Alberta, Toronto, and across cities in Ontario. Text 780-709-0965 for more information. The only platform where you can have such an opportunity. Due to the numerous requests from those who want to be an authority in their field, share their opinions or passions, now is the time. On August 31st, 2021, after weeks of discussions in Calgary, we are pleased to share the Diversity Magazine print will be partnering with the Angie Ostojic magazine. While we're expanding Diversity Magazine across Canada, we're equally expanding across cultures, beginning with this partnership to jointly print and distribute content together with the Angie Ostojic magazine that has done a fantastic job serving the Filipino community. And finally, we're pleased to welcome Alita Vaz as Diversity Magazine's Calgary Correspondent. Thank you sincerely for your support. Segment 4. Fashion and Beauty Time on Diversity TV. Some collection of fashion from Africarnival 2021 from Bowie and Kathy Designs. Bowie is originally from Botswana and Kathy is from Barbados. They met on a fashion photo shoot just before the pandemic lockdown. They immediately clicked and decided to collaborate and design clothing together. Even during lockdown, they worked together to make new clothing designs. Take a look at some of their wonderful collections. Before we go to our next segment, a word from our supporters. Segment 5. I have been able to grow my business in 6 months since I got the BESP funds, something that could have otherwise taken me 5 or 10 years. 25-year-old Leduc-based Shawn Raymond shared his entrepreneurial journey since receiving BESP financing and mentorship. BESP recipient Shawn joins 2 fantastic ladies, Alexandria from RBC and Mona Lisa from Futurepreneur, to share not just the good news of BESP, but also how the Black Entrepreneur Startup Program has transformed his business. BESP supports young Black entrepreneurs from 18 to 39 years of age with startup loan financing from $5,000 to $60,000, 2 years mentorship, plus access to resources and networking opportunities with fellow entrepreneurs across Canada. Hear directly from Alexandria, Mona Lisa, and Shawn.
Why support young Black entrepreneurs with this program? The Black Entrepreneur Startup Program, fondly known as BESP, it comes with a whole lot of great benefits. First, capital injection. We all appreciate the importance of capital injection to every business. Secondly, creation of employment. We're not just creating employment directly for that entrepreneur, but we are also creating indirect employment because there is that web designer who is going to design his website. There is that truck driver who will deliver his goods. So there is both direct and indirect employment. And finally, multiculturalism. We foster multiculturalism because with the exchange of cultures, the economy thrives, the economy grows.
If you are a young Black entrepreneur and you're aged between 18 to 39 and you're looking for funding for your business, then you definitely need to check out Futurepreneurs Black Entrepreneur Startup Program funded by RBC. It's an excellent program that has been created to address specific barriers faced by young Black entrepreneurs. Our goal is to truly help you be successful in launching your business. And we also offer you a mentor along the way for 2 years after you receive funding to help you scale and properly grow. So do not hesitate to go on our website to contact us if you need more information. We are there to help you. Thank you.
My name is Shawn Raymond and I'm with Shawn Fire Training. I am here to tell you about the BESP program with Futurepreneur. Not only has this program helped inject capital funding into my business, it has helped me grow my entrepreneurial business far more rapidly than I would have ever been able to think or come to beforehand. This program gives me mentorship that allows me to grow my business for 2 years after the funding has been released. And not only has that support helped me grow, it has also given me the confidence to make the decisions and the choices that I need to make my business as successful as it has been this year.
Segment 6. We've replaced coronavirus Project Cool Times with Straight Talk COVID and Our People. Have you taken the COVID-19 vaccine? What made you take it? And if not, why not? We brought in some community members to share some wisdom about COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy and solutions through a series of panels called Straight Talk, COVID and Our People. You'd be surprised with what a doctor, a politician, and a community leader have to say on this topic. Just watch.
Have individual dialogue with some community members that are hesitant to get vaccinated for one reason or the other. It goes from, oh, somebody told me that if you get vaccinated, there is a chip being implanted into you, or somebody in my church said that, you know, they don't know the future ramification of it. So therefore, so that this is where I have a candid, really candid, basic conversation with the person. I say, okay, so you are worried about the future, but what if you die now? You won't have the future to worry about. But at least if you get vaccinated now, you protect yourself, you protect your children, you save, you know, if you die, who's going to take care of your children? And on and on. So sometimes this is where we go back to those basic candid discussions and say, yes, I will not debate what they've heard. What I would talk about is what is real for now.
Yeah.
Because I don't know the ramification of the vaccine in the future. I can't say that we're all going to die at the same time or we're going to live forever. But what I can say is that for right now, if you get sick, it will affect your children, if you affect your earning powers, and if you die, what's going to become of your children?
When you talk to people on the ground, they tell you the real problems. And it blows my mind when you take these feedback from the community and try to present it to authorities at the top, they dismiss it. Blows my mind as to why that happens very often. I don't know. During the pandemic, when government brought up programs to reach those who need help with food, and they realized through their own data, not data generated by the racialized communities, through their own data that they generated through the big organizations, that of all the Africans in Alberta or Calgary, and Alberta was less than 10% were accessing help. Okay, and they kept asking why, and they were coming up with two theories. Oh, it is information. We need to put information in different languages. When they called us, it took a minister, Mr. Rajan Soni, said, no, we've done this and we are getting the same results. Something is wrong somewhere. Called the community leaders and said, what is the problem on the ground? And we just give them the blueprint. First and foremost, people from Africa and other countries don't beg for food. When I am hungry, it is my neighbor next door that knows I am hungry. They will cook and bring me food. So if you're leaving a 1-800 number that somebody should call and get a help, is not gonna come. Let us trust us. Let us get food to people who need it. We know how to do it. And then the whole argument about trust and to organization, who should we give the help to? And these organizations are stuck in their old ways of doing things that do not work for the immigrant communities because they work differently. Culturally, they are different. The way they relate is different. It is based on trust and respect. And if you don't have the trust and the respect, forget it. Nothing is going to get done. They trusted us, give us some, I would say, 100th of the money they've been doling out to these big organizations. And within 2 weeks, we were 7,000 and thousands of families with food and much needed help. Okay? When it came to the vaccine, the same thing. All we heard was an announcement that $4 million has been given to this organization. $5 million has been given to this organization to do vaccine drive. And my eyes were like, oh my God, they did the same thing again. They did the same thing. That hasn't worked for community. They did the same thing again. So we have to push. Now, it will interest you to know that we got $30,000 to do vaccine drive. $30,000 for the entire African community in Calgary. 30,000. And even that, it was the minister who had to push and push and push and tell them that we don't bypass this. And as I said, we had clinics at Ikram Joma, we had clinics at the other mosque, we had clinics at Somali Center, and people came out and got vaccinated. And I told the minister, now you realize that the communities know how their communities work. So you need to give them the resources and empower them and allow their leaders do the work. Vaccine clinic, coordinate with an imam. Tell the imam, we want to come to you. How do we get your people vaccinated? He is going to tell you how it's going to be done, and it will be done. Get to the grassroots organizations, give them money to organize campaigns, to get volunteers, to send messages out that this is in our community. Come out and come and get help. Honorable Shepherd, I don't know how many times I have to say this. It is frustrating. It is infuriating. It is demeaning that you cannot trust African organizations with $1 million to get the work done, but you can trust another organization with $10 million to get nothing done. Mind-blowing. So these are practical problems that grassroots organizations in the end that are serving the communities are facing. They have been starved of financial resource help. So they are not able to even get involved. They always bypass them. They don't get them involved. They don't seek their opinions until when they realize that all that they've done does not work. Then they come back to us looking for solutions, looking for ways. Before they started the hotel quarantine, they came out and I told them, do you know in immigrant homes, how many families are there? Okay, we have grandpa, grandma, dad, mom, kids, cousin, and maybe a visitor. Okay, so if dad is positive, he has nowhere to go. He is an immigrant. He has only one place to live, his house. Can you allow these people to isolate in hotels? We kept drumming this and drumming. Finally, they saw that, oh, this could be helpful. They started implementing the hotel isolation, and instantly they saw numbers plummeting in the racialized communities. So the solutions are there because they are not identical to what they are used to. They always dismiss them, and that is problematic. That is problematic. So I'm letting you know this, and when you're talking to your colleagues, let them know that the grassroots organizations have solutions, practical, tried and trusted solutions to get a job done. And most of the things that they've not been able to do, grassroots organization will deliver on them. Thank you.
is really amazing because the solution is there, but yet ignored, right? And it may also be that because there's no formal, research, documented, evidence, around that. But right now, there's that opportunity. You can see the evidence all over the place. All the criticism, that went through to Dr. Henshaw was based on a lot of research, and all that this may not work. I've not heard anybody saying this will not work, but it's a gamble that the government has taken. Let's hope, cross our fingers that that gamble is not going to result into, something. So I don't know. I think looking at the future, I'm actually more interested in what are we going to do, right? Going forward. We can't look back anymore, but what are we doing going forward to set the stage, for success, to prevent something like this from happening in future? I think that's where I see where we should put our efforts, right? To make sure that, communities are safe.
As much as we want to be rid of it, and I do as much as anybody, I want folks to be able to go back to normal lives. So as others have observed, what is normal has probably changed. So, but we have to recognize that we still have more to do, that there are still people and communities and individuals who are at risk. There's still things that we need to learn. So again, the decisions that have been made recently, they concern me for that reason, as it just feels it may be just too much of a rush to try to put this behind us without having properly learned the lessons and taken the steps to ensure we are protecting everybody, and recognizing indeed that, for example, as Charles said, racialized communities have been hit harder. They are struggling. Women were hit harder economically. The impacts have been disparate, and I'm concerned that in a rush back to normal, we are going to lose the lessons we have learned about those who need help and systems that we need to change in our government and in our society. I really appreciate what Moji had to say about what we have learned about innovating, learning, and adapting. And indeed, that has been the case for so many during this pandemic. Indeed, we've had many that have been impacted and have needed additional help. We have had many that have been able to adapt, use resources that were available, indeed groups that have supported each other. And as she said, really important that we take the opportunity to learn from that, rather than, again, rushing ahead to try to just reset everything. Make sure we have learned from what we have learned from the folks that have found new ideas, new perspectives that we can use. And indeed, that is what Sam was saying as well. He talked about this being a bit of a gamble, what the government is doing, and indeed it is. And we have to look at who is at most at risk if that gamble does not pay off.
Segment 7. What do we have for Diversity TV International News? Another coup on the continent of Africa. Al Jazeera announced that this week a team of special forces arrested Guinea's president, Condé, and seized power. Segment 8. What are we cooking this week for Dish of the Week? It was Slap Your Mama in the Face, delicious, trying some ribs at the Rib Fest in Fort McMurray last weekend. Here are some photos from the festival to share with you. Segment 9. We have lots of community announcements this week. Diversity Magazine's next community engagement is coming up in the northern Alberta city of Grande Prairie. There's election season in Canada and Alberta, with federal elections scheduled for September 20th and municipal elections on October 18th, 2021. The number of minority candidates who have entered politics this election season has increased. Alita Vaz, Diversity Magazine correspondent in Calgary, has been looking at this for some time now and is here to tell us more.
So I'm just going to be talking a bit about the elections that are taking place in Calgary here, more specifically what exactly this means for multiculturalism. These elections are happening in a little bit over than a month, and we're going to be voting for city councilors for our 14 wards, as well as a new mayor. as a diverse city, the aspect of multiculturalism is of course super important to most of our citizens, and Calgary needs that to be reflected in the leadership of the city. So when looking at the candidates we have, there are several multicultural individuals who are from various places across the world. And I had the opportunity to talk to a couple of these candidates and got their insight as to why multicultural is important to the city and what they plan to do if they're elected. Firstly, one of the most important aspects here is that when we have a diverse set of people in our leadership, we also benefit from the rich perspectives, ideas, and experiences that are present in the city. They've also shared that it is important to have a diverse set of leaders in terms of representing visible minority groups, but also those with lived experiences. So these are people who not only respect and understand the value of having diverse looking people, but also those who have been in different situations.
Want to work in the warehouse sector? Solomon College is currently taking applications for their KWEST program. The deadline to register is September 27th, 2021. What you need to note about the program. Solomon College's Key Workplace Essential Skills Training Program, KWEST, is a 3-month training program focused on employment in the warehouse sector. The requirements are a minimum of CLB3 in all skill areas, a permanent resident or Canadian citizen not born in Canada, no previous education in Canada except LINC or ESL, not currently on employment insurance, and basic computer skills. Interested or know someone who will benefit from it, please contact 780-431-1515 or info@solomoncollege.ca. Watch Mac, the instructor, talk about his great program here.
I love our program. I think we're giving them great skills with the warehouse management system. And so, and there's a lot of different jobs that are using, any type of tracking, like with merchandising and put away. So, but yeah, so that's basically that's how we're helping them. We're giving them Canadian experience, but we're also giving them good skills. And yeah, so basically that. It's always growing. We're experimenting with the partnership with Habitat, and I see a lot of students, they're showing their leadership skills, their collaboration, and so I think we're building a community here, and I think it's a great experience, and especially if you want to work in warehousing, we'll get you the technological skills and the certification. And the last 4 weeks, we try our best to connect you with employers, and yeah, and so we're always trying to improve. So yeah, come join the program, and we'll try and get you connected. And we'll try and get you a good job that'll be meaningful and that you'll enjoy.
Automated enforcement on streets with the new 40 kilometers per hour speed limit began on September 1st, 2021. More information is available at edmonton.ca/safespeeds. Gain great experience and make a meaningful contribution to Calgary. The City of Calgary is looking for diverse Calgarians to volunteer for positions on 18 different boards, commissions, and committees. What does a board, commission, or committee volunteer role involve? A variety of tasks, but mainly to provide guidance and recommendations to City Council on topics related to finance, accessibility, planning, and urban issues, social well-being, and many more. For a list of boards with vacancies and eligibility requirements, visit calgary.ca/boards. The deadline to apply is September 23rd, 2020. Thank you for watching Diversity TV Community Newscast. Be the first to get our community newscast as it happens. Please subscribe and hit the bell notification on our Diversity TV YouTube channel. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Our website is www.diversitymag.ca. See you next week.